Good evening, Fernwood. It is your anxious anchor, Neil, and it's time for us to check out all of the angles of another episode of Mary Hartman, Mary Hartman. We are watching episode 258 from March 30th, 1977. It is the middle of the week, a Wednesday, so why don't we see what has set us up for today? At the break room of the factory, Tom is reading the school books that he and the other GGG members had sent back. Tom seems impressed to learn a less racist view of American history, and Vernon will do anything to discourage that kind of learning in general. But he is pulled aside by Tex, who has the bad news for them that the funding for their white supremacist group has dried up. Tex also hopes that Vernon will be less mean to him and count him as a friend. The two bigots come back to the table, and Vernon asks Tex to come up with reasoning that these books are bad, but it turns out that Tex can't read. So Vernon switches the subject to the Mad Bomber. We know that that is Tex, but Vernon is trying to point the finger at a black man, and the two racists are scrambling to figure out how to hold their organization together. Back home at the Hartman kitchen, Mary is handling an unseen and unheard Heather, who has written a negative message on the fridge and piled clothes on the table for Mary to deal with. There's a visitor at the door, and it is Lila, who comes over under the false pretenses of needing eggs for a recipe, but we know that she's really there to get the diary that she is using to blackmail the Jeters. And when Lila says that she is there for Wanda's diary, Mary feels like giving it to Lila would mean that Mary can't give the diary back herself and apologize personally. Then Lila turns on a sympathy act and says that this would mean something to their personal friendship, Lila and Mary. So Mary goes over to the waffle iron where she hid the diary and doesn't find it there since Howie stole it the week before. Then Lila tears apart Mary's kitchen to try to find it, and Mary is impressed at Lila's seeming friendship. Over at her apartment, Kathy receives a surprise guest, which is Mac, who is carrying home Howie, who had a rough time after a bender at the Capri Lounge. Of course, we know that Kathy is attracted to Mac, and she turns on the charm, but is rebuffed with a call to say that Mac doesn't want to be the third wheel in any relationship. Mac leaves with a kiss on the cheek from Kathy, and after Howie has purged a bit, he says he feels better, and Kathy responds that she feels better too. Merle Jeter is still having trouble with maid Lila, but he and Wanda Jeter are still working on their plan to convince Lila that she's going crazy. The Jeters convince Lila that she has experienced events that she doesn't remember at all, and it's clearly starting to get to her. Then Merle expresses exactly how slimy he feels Vernon Bales is before greeting him with a hearty handshake, and Wanda suggests that Vernon and Merle could work together to create a new political party called the Guardian Party, tied with the GGG, and to raise funds, they will host a telethon for all diseases, 90 cents of every dollar of which will help fund Merle's bid to run for president. And everyone, that was a really dynamic episode. We're in the middle of the week, so I expect we will have some slips and slides. Let's get going.
Mary Hartman! Mary Hartman! Who is it?
Wanda Jeter.
Oh, come on in.
Hi.
Hi.
listen, excuse the mess, but it is Heather, and I absolutely refuse to clean up after. It's her house, let her live in it.
Oh, Mary, I'm in this tremendous rush, so I'm going to apologize in advance. I would love to sit down and chat all day, but I can't. I'm scheduling acts for the DGG telethon.
Did you come up with a disease for it yet?
No, but we're hopeful. You see, we want something that's, well, bigger than a hangnail, but not quite cancer. Now, I just stopped by to ask if there's something you'd like to do on the show.
You're gonna hate it.
Oh, no, I'm not. Of course not.
No?
No, if you tell me what it is, I promise to love it.
Okay, well, this is what it is. It's very complicated, okay? Yeah. It would be me hitting the glasses of water and then ending with a song. Could be any song, preferably something simple.
Mary, why don't you let me think about that a little bit, and I want you to spend some more time thinking about it, too.
Okay. I was hoping that, Tom would want to do something with me, but, he said he'd rather not. Which, in a funny way, shows me, just how strong our marriage really is.
Uh-huh.
I have your diary.
My diary?
Yeah. The strange thing is, I'm just not sure how I got it. I think it was the night that Merle was dying. You remember that one? You remember that? Well, my mother was over there and she was giving artificial resuscitation. And I have a feeling that she thought that diary was a first aid book, which is really funny because you know what I thought it was? I thought it was the new posthumous Jacqueline Suzanne book.
But you didn't actually read any of it, did you?
Read it? Your diary?
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
no.
good.
Skimmed it, but never read it. A month here, a week there.
You didn't?
The coffee's ready. Are you sure you don't want to go?
No. How much did you read, Mary? Did I mention any names? Merle's, yours, Lila?
What about me?
Oh, nothing. You're not going to read any more, are you?
Oh, Wanda, please. I'm so embarrassed. I can't tell you how guilty I felt as soon as I realized that this was not a Jacqueline Suzanne novel. I'll tell you something, though. I couldn't put it down. Your life is such a fast read. When you said love is like a warm wind of feeling, I almost cried.
Who did I say that about?
Look, Wanda, believe me, I am not here to pass judgments. I'm really not. Loving people who are not your husband is something that I personally cannot carry off without feeling very bad about, as in very bad girl. But that doesn't mean that it's sleazy for you to take a stab at it.
Dear, I feel that I have the right to know to whom you're referring.
Drexel Johnson?
Oh.
Does that name ring a bell for you?
Oh, Drexel.
Yeah.
Yes, Drexel. Was that the only name you read?
How many others were there?
Oh, no, just him. Just him.
There's some him. Love of lovers.
Huh? Oh, yeah, some love of lovers he was. Oh, boy. Oh, well, that was a long time ago, before I was married to Merle. I was still Mrs. Rittenhouse. By the way, Mary, just where is the diary now?
Well, that's my second confession, Wanda. I lost it.
Well, vitamins A and C and D and B, well, they keep you healthy and well. But Mama didn't tell me when I was a kid all about vitamin L. Well,
Loretta?
Charlie. Honey, what are you doing? God, you scared the living daylights out of me. Mommy was in the bushes underneath the window.
I wasn't in the bushes underneath the window, honey. I got myself caught here. I wasn't in the bushes underneath the window, sweetheart.
You weren't?
No.
Well, Charlie, somebody was out there. I heard him.
Honey, there wasn't anybody there. I would have seen him when I came up. You just... Maybe it's just because you wasn't expecting me, huh?
Well, maybe so, but I tell you, Charlie, I could have sworn that somebody was out there underneath that window. I guess it's probably just the wind. You know how sometimes it sounds like an escaped psycho, you know?
If there's any escaped psychos around here, I'll blow their heads off with Pappy's power if they so much as bother you the tiniest little bit, honey.
Oh, you're just my He-Man protector, Charlie, and my big old baby boy. Hello?
Hello, Loretta. This is Wanda Jeter.
Oh, hi.
Hi, hon. Listen, I'm calling about that Dimes for the Disease telethon next Monday night, you know? Listen, we were wondering if you would honor us by being our MC.
Really? On television? Yeah. Oh, I love it. Oh, that is so fabulous. Thank you a lot. Oh, listen, what is the disease, though, Wanda? I mean, you know, I hate to have to ask you that, but, you know, if it's the wrong disease, it could hurt my image, you know?
Right. Well, we don't have our disease yet, so why don't we just pick one that would fit you, okay?
Fabulous. That is a great idea. And I can count on you to make sure that it's like above the waist and not too depressing, right?
Can do. Listen, Loretta, see, there's this new political party here in Fernwood.
Stop right there, hon. Let me just tell you that I would be pleased as punch to be that MC. You have got yourselves a gal. Can I call you Wanda Sue?
Oh, I want you to.
Great. Listen, and particularly because it's for such a worthy cause, you know.
Well, indeed it is. You know, Loretta, we're giving 10 cents on every dollar that we raise to cure diseases.
Wanda, I'll be there with rings on my fingers and bells on my toes. Thanks you a lot, hon. Bye. Honey, I'm back on the track to superstardom again, and this time I don't even have to go to Nashville. I just stay right here in Fernwood in my own hometown and be the representative for the Dimes for the Disease and the Guardian Party.
Really? I am so proud of you. I'm just so happy that you're going to be back on the road to superstardom again. I can't even talk.
You don't gotta talk, Charlie. See, I told you.
Who's there?
Hey, y'all, how y'all doing? Listen, I can't stay at nothing, but I was wondering, you got a wrench I can borrow? You know, I'm working on the pipes over at Kathy's. You know, she's staying there at Howie's house.
I got a pipe wrench.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Howie don't know nothing about no plumbing.
Oh, Mac, you little old devil, you. You're making time with Kathy right under the little old poor reporter's nostrils.
Don't they cut me some slack now. Listen, that boy, all he does with his nostrils, the best I can see is just stick him in other people's business, if you know what I mean. So that Kathy, you know, she's something special.
Hey, here you go.
Thanks a lot,
It's almost
Tommy.
new.
That's a good one, too, ain't it?
Sure is.
Hey, listen, I'm sorry to bother y'all. I'll check you later on.
Okie doke.
Now, as you were saying.
I was saying that I am so glad that Mac has his own special girlfriend, and I got my big old baby boy back.
Is that what you were saying?
We'll never make it as far as the bedroom.
Gosh, Mr. Bergman, it's been truly fascinating talking to you. But I'm afraid what we need, see, is a disease that shows on the body. You know what I mean? Oh, hi, honey.
Hi, how you doing?
Meet Mr. Bergman.
Sure. How are you, Mr. Bergman?
I have pantophobia.
Ah, yeah.
Honey,
How you been, anyway?
panophobia it means a fear of fear.
Uh-huh. Great. Well, what are all these wonderful people doing here?
Oh, well, they're part of the GGG, Dimes for the Disease telethon, honey.
Uh-huh.
See, what we're looking for is a suitable representative of an unclaimed disease.
Uh-huh. Oh, in other words, they're all diseased then, right?
Oh, no. See, some of the people that I've interviewed have been hypochondriacs who are just trying to work up sympathy. But hopefully, some of these people are genuinely ill.
Uh-huh. Honey, could I just talk to you one second here?
Sure.
Excuse
me. Be right back.
Darling, this is really disgusting.
Yes, that's true, darling, but, see, you have no idea of the logistical problems of this telethon. Now, not only do we need a photogenic disease, but we also need a disease that's not being pushed by a Hollywood star, you know?
Well, suppose we had a telethon that had all the diseases, that incorporated every disease you can think of, you know what I mean?
An all-disease telethon.
Yeah.
I like it, Merle. It's a wonderful idea.
Well, that solves that, but you still need a poster man, right?
Yeah, right.
Well, how about this guy? I mean, that's assuming he does last out the afternoon.
Oh, no, Merle, he wouldn't do. You see, people won't give money to someone who's down and out. What we need is somebody with appeal.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we got to get back to them, Merle. I mean, one of them might actually have an attack or something.
Easy. I'll tell you, Pard, if you can just go all the way on out the house before you cut her loose, okay? Appreciate it. Thank you.
Bye.
Look, why don't the rest of you just get on out of the house, too, okay? Find yourself a hospital bed there or something, okay?
Okay.
Just move right on out there.
Thanks awfully.
There you go.
Bye now.
There you go. Keep moving. That's it. Good to see you. Real good
Merle,
to see you.
you don't understand. We need a poster person.
No, wait a minute, Wanda. Wait a minute. This whole thing is getting too confusing now. I mean, you're talking about having a telethon with sick people, diseased people on it. Now you're throwing on top of that the guardian party. It's the whole thing is too confusing. It ain't gonna work.
Merle, confusion is the very backbone of fundraising strategy. See, the less people know, the more they seem inclined to give. See, this way, they won't know that the third party is the whole reason for it, you know?
No, I just want to go on record here and now as saying that I do not like sick people, okay? There's something very, very unhealthy about them.
Well, that's true.
Hi.
Oh. Hey, Loretta, how you doing, little songbird?
Neat house.
Yeah.
I am so excited about this glorious Gardens of Good Dimes for the Deceased telethon.
Oh, hey, we're so happy you're going to be a part of it, really.
Yeah, but you know, we're still lacking a sympathetic, adorable, though desperately ill person.
I talked to Kat.
Ah. Wanda, this might be our man. Hey, listen, will you excuse me a minute? I'm going to hit that shower, okay? We'll see you later.
Don't leave the room when I'm talking.
Lila, do you suppose that we could have a little chat over here?
Least he could do is treat me like a human being. Hi, Mrs. Haggard.
Hi, Lila.
Lila.
You are a human being, Lila. And like all human beings, you're fallible, and you occasionally lose things. Am I right?
What do you mean?
Oh, well, I don't want you to be upset, darling, but is it possible that my diary is no longer strapped to your oft-fondled thigh?
I don't know where you heard that, but I've got it back.
Oh,
I've got it.
Really? May I see it?
No way.
Here, Wanda, see. I believe we've got the perfect person. He just rolled himself in.
I like it. I like it, Loretta. He is going to look terrific on TV.
Texas?
Oh, really? Just a cold?
Texas, I've got to see you right away.
Please leave. Okay?
Listen, we got a big box of Kleenex out there, and I'll just take it with you.
I've got to see you right away. No, it can't wait. It's important. Right away. Bye.
I wanted to bring over a few items that I found after the explosion.
Really?
So I was cleaning up around the conveyor belt, and here we go. Now, this diploma I know was yours because it had your name on it.
Okay.
And this,
Mary Shumway.
yeah, this picture, I kind of guessed that you'd want it.
Oh, Dewey. That's Tom and Heather. That's Heather. That's my daughter.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah.
You see, well, the glass was broken, so I put in a new one. It was nothing much.
Oh, God, thank you so much. This is what do I owe you for this? I mean, no, really, you saved me through all the trouble to go into the frame store and stuff like that. And
Oh, you don't owe me a thing.
I can't get over this. I'm very, very touched by what you did here. I mean, I really, gee, it's funny, you know, kind of makes me miss being at the plant a little bit, miss the guys and all that, and I feel guilty, you know. I feel guilty not being on the plant line and sort of just being like a regular housewife, and I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's just like suddenly there's just not much to do, you know.
I wouldn't worry about that.
No.
As long as you are being good to your own self. That's what Polonius said in Hamlet. Because he might have been an old fool about a lot of things.
He said
but
good.
He sure was right about that.
He said good to your own self, be?
Well, to thine own self be true was the correct word.
You know Hamlet by heart?
Well, just that line.
Really? You know what? I got an idea. I've been working on this project called Dimes for the Diseased. So, what I was gonna do, you know, for, like, is my acting, I was gonna, you know, play some glasses with spoons. But, you know, now I just got to thinking, you know, maybe we could do something together. Do you know what I mean? And it would be more. It would be a special thing. It would be more. It would be like more than glasses, do you know?
Well, do you mean Shakespeare?
Sure, that's fine. Shakespeare, yeah.
Well, I'd have to do Othello.
Would you? Well, listen, anything you say. You pick it, you got it.
Are you kidding?
Oh, no. Oh, no, I'm not kidding. I'm telling you, believe me, with Tom's juggling and Ma's tapping, I mean, you and me doing, you know, that kind of stuff. I'm telling you, this is going to be like the showstopper of the evening.
Yeah, I think it would.
What's the name of the play again?
Othello.
Othello. Okay. Could you do me a favor? Could you not tell anybody about this? You promise?
I promise, sweet Desdemona.
Oh, boy. Oh, what a surprise this is gonna be. Come in.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Hi.
Police business. Just checking on some stolen goods. What's he doing here?
Othello.
Well, I think I better be going. Goodbye, Mrs. Hartman.
Bye, Dewey. Hey, Dewey. Thanks.
Bye.
You best watch it, Hartman. Eyes of Texas are upon you. Now, I got a report on a stolen diary.
Oh, no, I don't think that's stolen. I think possibly Howie Freeze may have borrowed it or something, but I really don't think anybody should get into trouble for this. I mean, I really don't.
Howie Freeze maybe borrowed the diary. I'm telling you, Lila, she ain't got it.
Let me see your notes. These are just little pictures.
Oh, I'll tell you what it says.
You can't write, huh?
This here is code.
You can't write and you can't read, huh?
Look, this right here says that Howie Freeze maybe has the diary.
Howie Freeze.
And yesterday, let's see, in the morning I got up, and then,
Text. It's all right. I believe you.
Well, it don't make no difference. It don't make no difference if I can read or write, because I know how to use this. And I know how to use this. And most of all, I do know how to use this. And pretty soon I am going to teach these force-busting, Muhammad Ali-loving Roots watchers a lesson they ain't never going to forget.
Yikes. So we start with Mary trying to come up with an act for the telethon, and she's going to do the glasses. Not the wipey glasses, but the smacky glasses. I don't know what you call either of those things, but that's what she's doing. She's going to play Mary Has a Little Lamb and, adjust her notes by drinking the water out of them. So Wanda comes over to check in with the telethon progress, and at this point Wanda is still looking for a specific disease. And I know that it was mentioned yesterday that it would be all diseases, but I guess they did a little bit of resetting so people who were watching the episode could discover something. At this point, though, Mary admits that she has read Wanda's diary. She says that she has the diary, though she hasn't. And Wanda has to spend some time sussing out exactly what Mary knows, which is very little. She has mentioned the same name that she mentioned yesterday, which was not the stuff that Wanda was worried about. And at the end of understanding what Mary's lack of understanding was, Wanda asks for the diary, and Mary has to admit that she doesn't have the diary anymore. She doesn't exactly know where it has gone. Then we cut over to the Haggers with Loretta back in 90s singing. I mean, Loretta is back to where she was at the start of the series, like episode 2. She is reenacting episode 2 pretty much, except that she's singing Vitamin L, which was a little bit later in the season. There is a creeping sound that is a new mystery. She thinks that the person at the door is the person lurking outside, and it is not. It's Charlie who thinks maybe Loretta is just missing him. Matt comes over. They think that that's the stalker as well, but it appears not to be, because he's just there to get some tools to fix some stuff over at Kathy's house. Apparently there's a little undercurrent there of that storyline. And then Charlie and Loretta get back to their knuck-knucks, and, well, it appears there is still a stalker outside, and that is the mystery today. So we have this undercurrent of the diary, but now there's a mysterious person who is lurking outside of Loretta's house. We don't know if this is only going to be focused on Loretta, but at this point it appears to be. And then Merle comes home to a surprise, which is that Wanda is interviewing potential spokespeople for the event, or poster children, etc. There probably is a better way to do this, but they are literally putting this together without any care for a specific disease. Most of the money is going to be going to the GGG's new party. 10 cents out of every dollar. And they're not hiding that either. That's not a secret. Of course, Merle's reaction is to say that having a bunch of potentially sick people there is gross. And, I'm shooting this post-COVID, so I definitely get not wanting to be around people who are sneezing and coughing. And Merle posits the thought that this could be a telethon for all diseases, which kind of spreads the wealth. Again, that was the idea that was put forth yesterday, and we're being reminded of it. They get a visit from Loretta, who is excited to be part of this telethon, and then Lila comes out and they pull their game on her again, except now Wanda has an understanding that Lila doesn't have the diary anymore. And that leads to a desperate call from Lila to Tex, which will be resolved soon. Then we cut back to the Hartman kitchen, with Dewey returning with items that were found in the wreckage of Section K. And Mary seems like she hasn't quite adjusted to being a housewife. Now that she's been a working woman, being a housewife doesn't have the same meaning for her, which is a subtle thing. It was one sentence, but it feels like a definitive statement for where Mary Hartman's feelings are. And we know that before she started that position, she was starting to feel empty. And then she had that job, and it gave her meaning, even if she didn't fit in so well. And now that she's not doing the work, it feels a little bit empty. I feel like there's something that Mary is on the hunt for. And that's going to be a big question. in this last chunk of the series. Dewey quotes Shakespeare, and I smile a little bit because in the last year and a half during COVID, we started a Shakespeare club where we meet online. Actually, we are about to end this club, and of course, coincidentally, the play that we're reading now is Hamlet. So I was excited to see a quote from that play. And this turns into a potential new act for Mary and Dewey to do together, which would be a scene from Othello. Othello is famously the one black lead character of a Shakespeare play. Casting nowadays in the 21st century would be a lot more open to different races being involved in Shakespeare's plays. But this would be a meaningful play to perform in any case, especially for Dewey. And if Dewey's going to do some Shakespeare, I'm going to watch it. I'm a big fan of Shakespeare, but I think it would be appropriate for us to save that conversation for some other time and place, because Tex comes in and is suspicious of Dewey right away, and Tex is generally suspicious of Dewey, even though there's zero evidence that he was involved in the diary. In fact, Tex himself stole the diary from Howie's place, though he may not know. But it's weird for me because Tex's behavior in Mary's kitchen is so clearly racist that I'm surprised that Mary doesn't immediately recognize it. So he goes out to meet Lila, and he is ready to use all of the weapons in his arsenal that just happen to be hidden on his person because he is showing his white nationalist side. He maybe doesn't realize that he himself has the diary or has done something with the diary. Since all of that research, we don't know what has happened to it, and Tex can't read it. Well, I step into this story with some trepidation because Tex is awful and Lila is poisonous, and well, I just don't know what to expect next. I expect I'm going to feel some things, and right now I am feeling just the tension. So let's put a pin in this for now. Thank you so much for watching with me. Thank you for leaving your thoughts, feelings, and impressions down in the comments. Thank you for checking out all of the angles, and we will see you tomorrow night in Fernwood.